Hi, welcome to Aphrodite Hills Golf Resort here in Cyprus. My name is Chris Ryan and I'm out here creating some content to hopefully help you play some better golf this year. Now, this is the 11th hole. It's a 375 yard par 4 and it's relatively straight, although there is a little bit of trouble out on the right hand side. So what I'm actually going to do in this video, I'm actually going to play this golf hole, but I'm going to play it in two different ways. We're going to see what score I make and the advantages and disadvantages to each method. Now, 375 yards for me is not really what I'd consider a really long hole, so I don't necessarily have to hit driver. I've also got my 3-iron down there. So I'm going to hit the drive. I'm also going to hit the 3-iron. We'll get down to the fairway, we'll see where those golf balls are, we'll see how far I've got left into that flag, and then we'll take it from there and just see which gives me the greatest chance of making a birdie. Now, the trouble on this hole is definitely more at the right hand side. There is some trees, there's a hedge, and the course finishes there, so there's out of bounds. Up the left there's a little bit of trouble, but not as much. So I'm going to try and hit this golf ball with my driver up the left hand side a little bit and just try and fade that ball back towards the middle of the fairway. Doesn't look like there's huge amounts of trouble up there, any fairway bunkers or anything like that, so as long as I can get this in play, it should leave me a relatively short iron. And that's absolutely perfect. That's just left hand side, absolutely spot on. Right, so let's go over to 3-iron and let's see where this one leaves me. Now, 3-iron really, I'm just going to try and hit the middle of the fairway. I'm not as concerned with missing target here. So driver, I had to sort of, maybe favour the left and try and work it back to the middle. 3-iron, I'm a lot more confident that I can just hit this pretty much where I aim. So I'm actually just going to take dead aim, middle of the fairway, and just see if I can knock this 3-iron into play. And that's pretty good as well. That's just slightly left of where I hit the drive, but it should be left side of the fairway. Yep, just hit it down. So let's get down there, let's see where those golf balls are, let's see how far I've got left into the green and see if one gave me any bigger advantage over the other. So this is where the 3-irons ended up, just left hand side of the fairway, and I've got 145 yards to the flag. Now, I'm not sure if you can see it from the camera, but the flag is quite tight. Well, it looks quite tight from here. I haven't actually driven up to the green yet, so I'm not too sure exactly what's up there, but it looks as if it's in a tricky position. I don't know if you can see as well, my drive is probably a good 50 or 60 yards further down there. So certainly with this flag position, being that little bit further down is going to be a big advantage. So at the moment, it's looking like driver was the right play. But let's go ahead and hit this one. So 145 yards. Now, for me, that's between a 9 and a wedge. Because the flag looks as if it's quite tight, I'm actually going to hit a hard wedge because that's going to give me a little bit more elevation. It's going to get the ball coming down a little bit steeper, which might help you get a little bit closer to that flag. I'm also going to go slightly right of the flag. And that's maybe where the drive will have a slight advantage because I'm guessing that being that 50, 60 yards closer, I can probably go a little bit more at the flag. So anything 20, 15 feet right of the flag here would be pretty good and I'd accept that. Okay, I've actually hit it left of where I wanted. It's right on line. And that's landed, it looked like it landed about 3 feet left of the flag. The green is slightly raised, so I can't see where that is, but that is actually a really good shot. So a little bit of course management there. It was a tight flag. I went a little bit right. I've hit it slightly left of where I aimed, and it's actually pretty good. If I'd have gone directly at that flag, I'd have hit it left. There's a couple of bunkers up there, and that's probably where that board have ended up. So good course management there. That's helped me. It's enabled me to hit a non-perfect shot and actually get a fairly decent result. So let's get it and hit that driver. So this is where my tee shot finished when I hit the driver. I've actually missed the fairway, but it is really quite narrow up here. Back where I hit my 3-iron was probably, a good 40 yards wide. This is only maybe 20 yards wide. So I'm in the rough, and that might well be a disadvantage. As we've already said, the flag is quite tightly cut. So really, my ability to impart spin is quite key. So I've only got just, 88 yards. So definitely a much shorter shot, almost 55 yards less than what I had previously. However, I am in the rough, and that might make a difference. But because I'm so close, I feel like I can actually go straight at this flag. Obviously back there when I was hitting that club from 145 yards, I was going a little bit right at the flag. It looks like I can see the base of the flag, but I can't see my ball that I hit from back there. So let's give this one a go. I've got my 58-degree club, which over this distance is relatively full, which is good because it means I can, again, generate some decent elevation. And it's right on it. Okay, it's gone long. So it's landed, it's on the green. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. It was a good line. It's just landed, looked like about 5 or 6 feet past, skipped up and just looked like it checked up on the back of the green. So I'm putting, but I'm probably not as close as I would like to have been. I reckon that lie made quite a big difference from there. If I'd have been in the fairway, I reckon I could have imparted a little bit more spin, and I reckon I probably could have got that ball a bit closer. But let's go and have a look where I'm putting from. So that is the ball that I hit with my 58-degree wedge after the drive. It's a good 25, 30 feet long. I've just repaired the pitch mark, which was probably some 10 feet short of that. So a little bit more spin would have helped me, but I couldn't generate that from the rough. But the first shot I hit in landed just past where that golf ball is, and it's actually gone long, and it's actually down here over the back of the green. So I've now got that chip up onto the green to see if I can make my par. So certainly not what I was after. I say it looked like a pretty good line from where I was, but I couldn't see the level of the green. It's landed on the back of the green, but jumped over. So tricky little chip. I've got my 54-degree club. I'm going to sort of lean into the slope a little bit and see if I can play one on a slightly lower trajectory. And looks pretty good, just needs to roll out a little. Okay, so it looks like it's about 2.5 feet just left of the flag. So from there, I'd be pretty happy with that. I've still got a little bit of work left to do for my par, but I should be able to make my par. However, it was a little bit of a struggle. I've had to get up and down. We'll see how we do with the other ball. Now, I certainly wouldn't say this is makeable because it's 35, it's got to be 35 feet. So not an easy two-putt. But let's see if I can roll it close and get out of here my par. Okay, and I would definitely take that from there. Again, it's left me a couple of feet, but pretty good. So interesting that I've hit a 3-iron off the tee, I've hit a driver off the tee, and I'm basically left with 2.5 feet for par, 2.5 feet for par. So with any luck, I should be able to knock both of those in and walk off here with 2 4s. And that's exactly what's happened. So interesting, played it differently, hit a driver off the tee, hit a 3-iron off the tee. I ended up with the same score and ultimately ended up with 2.5 feet for par. But either is an option to you. There is no right or wrong. You have to assess the trouble. Looking back at that, the fairway narrows up where I hit driver. So for me, hitting driver there isn't always an advantage because it means that I'm probably going to miss the fairway or more chance of me missing the fairway. Then I'm in the rough. And when I'm in the rough, I can't impart as much spin. And when you get a flag which is tightly cut to the front of the green like this one, it makes it real difficult to get it close. So having played the hole both ways, if I played it again, I'd probably play the 3-iron again because I don't think for me hitting driver gives me a massive advantage. I've got to hit the perfect drive to be in that fairway, and if I'm not in the fairway, I'm in the rough. The extra length off the tee then doesn't really count for anything because I can't impart as much spin. But different ways to play a hole. Don't always think you've got to hit driver. It's not always the best play. I hit a 3-iron off the tee there, which was a much easier club for me to hit, and ultimately ended up with the same 2.5 foot putt for par. Hopefully that's helpful to you. It's a slightly different video for me, but something that you might, like to see more of. Let me know. It'd be great to get your feedback. Thank you to Aphrodite Hills. I'm sure you'll agree the course looks fantastic. Thank you to Golf Breaks. They made all this happen. Usual stuff is down below the video. That's a like box, a comment, sorry, like button, I should say, a comments box. And there's a link down there as well if you'd like to subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free. There's just more videos just like this one coming each and every week, helping you play some better golf. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you again soon.